Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Offsides. It's just me and Pete today, riding together out here. June out with the fam. Everybody spending time with the fam. It's summertime. People doing what they doing. Pete, how you doing today?
Good, man. Ready for the weekend, brother.
Yeah, I can't wait either, man. Listen, so ain't much going on in the NFL. A few things not really much popping off, but I wanted us to get on here. The Patriots signed Stevenson and I think Dillon to some contracts. They gave Stevenson like 17 mil guaranteed. There's like a $34 million contract. I think that's good. He's a solid back. I think it's okay. You got any thoughts on that?
It's shocking to see a running back get paid, being
Yeah.
that last year these dudes was all getting franchised and it was holding out, having to settle for shit at the last minute, Barkley and Jacobs. But then, this year came by and it's like a completely different. McCaffrey gets extended, now and this is kind of under the radar because no one was really, he's not one of the high profile backs
He's
like I
not.
named. And he got yeah, he got paid. So good for him, man.
Yeah, he. I remember he came into the team as a rookie. It was him and Damian Harris. They was doing split backs,
Hmm.
and Harris left to Buffalo afterwards. But I mean, his yardage. He had one good year. 2022, he ran for over 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Um, but he played. He started 7 games out of 17. Last year we didn't do anything, so he started 12 games.
No, last year was not a good year.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not gonna count that. He's at 22. I don't receiving yards. He's let me see. I'm trying to see 782 receiving yards. So that's probably another reason too. In 3 years, he can probably catch the ball out the backfield. Patriots like doing that. Uh, it's interesting, right? Because the Patriots don't like really spending money, but now that Belichick's gone, um, but they paid a running back, and you said yourself it was interesting how they didn't do it last year, but this year they paying. Do you feel like it's up to the team really to value? Like, do you think I don't think running backs will ever get back to what it used to be because of the passing league. So I think that if you can catch the ball out the backfield like a CMC, a Saquon, Austin Eckler, stuff like that, a Kamara when he's healthy, run a route, I think that's going to get you more money. But do you feel like with this situation or other situations is really on the team needing it?
Well, I don't if Brissett look, they're not paying a lot of money for the quarterback right now. They got Brissett and they got the rookie. I guess get as many weapons around until that rookie until May is ready. So when he steps in, he's got legitimate weapons in the backfield. He got two rookies. They got drafted two rookies this year. So I think it's more about keeping them weapons ready until this dude steps in.
I would get rid of May. I'm not May. Yeah, Drake May. No, not Drake May. I'm sorry. It's Bailey Zappi. I would drop him. I would keep Bissett, Drake May as a second. Your third, make him that dude Milton they drafted. I think he's gonna be good.
Mm,
Something about him tells me he's gonna be. He might be better than May. While you bullshitting. The only difference is he wasn't a high draft pick. Uh,
yeah.
so this I was watching the herd. Brady was on the herd. And now every time Brady gets on TV to speak, it's a big deal. Everybody's there. The all the executives are there making sure that people are asking the right questions and stuff. But he talked about preparation. He talked about in training camp because the herd asked him a few years ago, what's his name? The head coach from the Rams.
McVay?
Yeah, he didn't start none of the starters during preseason and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And he asked Brady what he thought about that. And, Brady felt that you should play. He said you should start him for a little bit to get the continuity going, prepare. He was talking about how, throughout the offseason, that's how you learn certain signal calls, identifying the defense. Uh, so in other words, if we haven't really practiced together and I get to the line and I say, you know, chocolate, and you like, what the fuck is chocolate, Frank? You know what I'm saying? If we was practicing together, then you got it. In your opinion, man, how do you feel about that? The NFL, the new CBA changed a few things. You can't practice as much, can't wear certain equipment. Over the last few years, do you feel that those new changes have helped or hurt a team's preparation for the upcoming season?
It depends. It depends. If it's new players on the team, a new system, then yeah, it's gonna hurt them. But if I'm playing, I'm trying to limit as much wear and tear on my body as possible. And now they got to say they 17 games.
Yep.
Rumor is they want to go to 18.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not touching preseason at all. I'll do the mini camp, OTAs, all that shit. But as far as preseason, nah, I'm not doing that because one, the games don't mean anything. Again, if I'm already established on this team, I'm not trying to see preseason. I'll see the field week 1 when everything counts. But preseason, nah. We got practice and all these camps and all that is for that.
I agree. I think the veteran players don't need it as much as the rookies. The preseason, to me, honestly, you're taking a risk by starting your guys. Look what happened to Edelman the year we lost. When we lost Super Bowl 52, we lost Edelman in preseason. He caught a pass, went to cut, his knee popped, he knew it. And I always felt like if we had Edelman in that Super Bowl, things could have been different because we was relying on James Cook. I mean, not James Cook. What's the Brandon Cooks, and he got knocked out the game. The Eagles knocked his ass out
Yeah.
early. Um, I don't particularly like it playing because of that reason. Not only that, you got these second string, third string players that are trying to make a name for themselves.
Yep.
You got your star running back, star quarterback, star wide receiver out there, and motherfuckers gonna try to hit them on purpose just because, hey, I'm trying to make a name myself, make the team. So I agree. I don't think that the preseason hurts. I think what does hurt though is the lack of practice during OTAs, mini camp, stuff like that. Um, with my military background, we always train how we fight. So when we fight as we train, right? And I always go back to in 2001, my first deployment. We was in the Gulf and the Persian Gulf, and they kept SAM sites are like anti-aircraft sites where they start pinging and locking onto our planes. Well, we would tell them, hey, we're just flying, blah blah. If you keep blocking, we're gonna do what we got to do. So it came a time where they kept locking onto our jets and we ended up dropping bombs. And it was a green crew. It was a brand new ship, just brand new built. The veterans were the older people. The younger sailors were the rookies in a sense. But when it came time to us, to break out missiles, build bombs, put some bullets in the plane, we did it like vets because we practiced so much. Like if it was that time. So when it came time to do what we did it. So I think that training, maybe like you said, OTAs, mini camps, all that good stuff. Not so necessarily the preseason game, but that part I think is important to developmental of the thing. Um, how do you see the state of the NFL? We know it's a passing league. We know that defense has got to adjust. How do you feel about that in today's game compared to what we saw coming up? You was growing up during the Lawrence Taylor era. We was watching it. They glory days of the Giants. Um, how how do you see it today though?
It's not the same. Well, look at you brought up Brady. There's a rule now that you can't go low because of Brady. They lost Brady the first game of the season. Ever since then, they changed they implemented that rule. And not that you're going for his knees, but if you end up getting blocked and you end up going low, that's a flag. They're trying to protect the quarterback. I mean, you look at a lot of the teams last year that lost their quarterbacks. The Jets, they lost Aaron Rodgers. They weren't the same. They were on prime time all these times with Zach Wilson because they lost their quarterback and it's a completely different team once the quarterback is gone. Um, you look at a lot of the when the Patriots were playing the Colts, they were like, "Yo, the receivers are getting mugged. Can't illegal contact now." And now I think it's this year they said they're gonna be wearing those protective helmets. I forgot
Yeah.
what they're called. I think that to me that's one of the good things that they're changing. Because the linemen they're cracking helmets on every play. So
Mm-hmm.
if I was like a guard or center or a nose tackle, I would absolutely rock that because like I said, you don't know. There's times these guys don't even know if they have a concussion or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I would that to me is one of the better things that they've done. going to 18 games after going to 17, they preaching safety, but that's bullshit if they preaching safety, but they added 2 more games.
It's the money. But I think they also talking about reducing the preseason, 2 preseason games. I feel they get rid of preseason and add the extra games because now you're
They
getting that
should just
time.
do that.
Yeah, I think so. I think
But,
go ahead, what's up?
but preseason is money too, because people go to preseason games, they buy food, they buy tickets, they tailgate.
I was about to say this. How about we make preseason for the people trying to make the team?
Well, it should be that anyway.
Yeah, it should. But make that. I think you know what I also think the NFL should do is buy out the UFL and the XFL. Make it a G League. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get drafted or the practice squad, you can go down to the league, kind of like the minor leagues for baseball. You go out there, you earn your keep, you develop, and if a team needs you, they can bring you up or they can pick you up and give the other team compensation.
It's unofficially, because I
Yeah.
think I forgot his name, that cat from the Cowboys. I think it was a kick returner. They got him from there, I believe, last year. So
Yeah.
I think it's unofficially the minor leagues. But yeah, if they see you could play, somebody's gonna sign you.
You guys, I think there was a guy in the news recently uh mentioning they got picked up. Um, I think that's dope, man. Honestly, them redemption stories to see it come from that. Even the head coaches, man. If you look at Wade Phillips was in the UFL championship game right now, well, last weekend, and I think it's dope. And like you said, unofficially, I think that if the NFL came with the right number, because I think The Rock owns XFL, and I don't know who owns the UFL, but I think if the NFL came with the right partnership, instead of making it unofficial, let's make it official. You know what I'm saying? And you're still gonna get people coming to the games, especially when there's more backing and money into it.
But like I said, if you could play, they'll sign you because look, Kurt Warner was in the Arena League, and they signed
Correct.
him. They found him.
Correct. He was
You could
bagging
play, they'll
groceries,
sign
bro.
you.
Kurt Warner was
Yep.
bagging groceries. Um, Cam Newton made a comment about basically that white NFL players get a better chance at broadcasting than minority players. Stephen A. Smith was talking about it on his podcast, and he mentioned Brady and other people like that. And Stephen A. Smith was like, "Don't mention Brady. He got 7 rings." They were gonna hire him regardless. The minute that dude said, "I'm gonna be an analyst," he's coming in. They're gonna pay top dollar. Um, Tony Romo was a Cowboy. His career might not have been great, but he played for the Cowboys. He said, Terry Bradshaw 4 rings, Troy Aikman 3. Kurt Warner got his 1 NFL MVP. Do you agree with that statement, or do you feel that it's because of other reasons, whatever those reasons may be?
So I don't like using race as a reason unless it's blatant.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's blatant, like he said, you can't count Brady because Brady's got the resume that speaks for itself. But if you want to bring race into it, Greg Olson, Brady took his job, and last time I checked, Greg Olson is white. So I don't think it has anything to do with race. It has to do with, we got the chance to get Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get Brady at the expense of, even though Greg Olson to me was good.
He was.
And what happened? And again, I don't think it has the same thing happened on Monday Night Countdown. I don't know if you're familiar. RG3 was on there.
Mm-hmm.
He's black.
Mm-hmm.
They replaced him with who? Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey just came off the Super Bowl. He just retired on the Super Bowl Super Bowl team a couple years ago, and he's more popular than RG3.
Mm-hmm.
But it has nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with race. It has to do with, look, this guy is more popular. His brother's dating Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you give me RG3 and Jason Kelsey, who are you gonna take? I think it's easy.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with race. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with race as far as Cam Newton. I know that's a pain point where people are gonna flock to that issue because it's race, but I don't think it has anything to do with race. It's just I think you look at who it is that they're bringing on, not the color of their skin.
And I agree. You mentioned Kelsey. I forgot about Kelsey coming on to Monday night. He's gonna do the halftime show Monday Night Football, and I forgot what else he was doing pregame or something like that. Look at his position. You can argue he probably was the best center playing until he retired. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Um, a dog in the trenches, highly respected by other players,
Yeah.
a good guy. So here's what I hate about the race conversation. Us being minorities, we know our own people. You know what I'm saying? Us growing up in the Bronx, we didn't grow up like in some states, you're white, you hang out in certain areas. You're black, you hang out in certain areas. You're Hispanic, you hang out in certain areas. In the Bronx, we all mixed in together. You know what I'm saying? It's you. It won't be shocking if your black friend spoke Spanish very fluently because he grew up in your house. I don't like that because I feel like you're taking away from one person to justify your lack of coming because or of success in a certain area based on your lack of growth or what you're lacking in personality, right? Um, why I say that, you had Michael Irvin for a long time in talking, commentating. Who else?
Thank God he's gone.
You think he said thank God he's gone?
Thank God he's gone. He's the worst on TV, bro.
But he was there. He was there. Who else? You had Chris Carter for a little bit on Fox. You got Randy Moss, I think, does a guest appearance here and there. Um, but it's who's gonna sell tickets, who's gonna get the ratings. Even if Brady didn't have the 7 rings, Brady or Cam Newton, who you gonna want?
So let me say this. So one of the best teams in the league right now is the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
right? Jason Kelsey is associated with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
What team is RG3 associated with? What fan base is going to flock to the TV to watch RG3?
Nobody.
All the Eagles fans that want to see are going to want to see Kelsey on TV. They're gonna want to see that because he was just playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
RG3 hasn't played in years. Is Jason Kelsey a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Is RG3? He's not.
No.
So I don't. I mean, and I use as an example, another example of race, and what bothers me about the race when people pull a race card is because when there's a situation that really calls for it, that really warrants, paying attention to race, you're taken away from it because you're just bringing it up for Tom Brady and freaking somebody else getting a job in broadcasting. No
Yeah.
one's gonna get a job over Brady. No one.
No. What's crazy is he could suck. It doesn't matter. They already signed a contract. But I don't think he is. Listen to him talk, and aside from I'm a Brady fan, going back to what you said, who you want to see on TV, and I was telling my wife this the other day. Brady's first game is going to be Browns versus Cowboys at Browns. And I said, I don't know what time the game is going to be, but I got a real decision to make. Do I watch the Patriots play or do I watch Brady commentate a game? And I said, well, I guess I'm watching Brady commentate the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see it. But
That's a prime game. I'm thinking that's gonna be 4 o'clock.
I think it is 4 o'clock. I think it's 4, and I think they did it that way to make sure that the viewers get to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 o'clock is the prime games. I'm checking
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to be real, I want to see what his mind thinks of. It's funny because a lot of these players, um, in the Patriots, they kept their mouth shut. Brady never really said nothing. It was all about the team. It was all about this. Now that he's retired, he's being more vocal about certain things. He's speaking more about certain things. And I just want to see from his perspective because he did play in an era where you still can get hit and transition to an era where you really can't get hit. Um, he also mentioned the preparation that quarterbacks have in knowing. He mentioned himself, Peyton Breeze, Phillip Rivers, to name a few, that defenses would wait till the last minute to change up their defense because if they did it too early, then they can change the play and beat them. And that's one thing Ray Lewis said about Peyton and Brady. He said we would have to wait until a certain time on the clock because I guess after a certain time, with the amount of seconds left, the offense doesn't have enough time to call in a different play and
Yeah.
change it. So they wait until that time. So Brady talked about how the Bills will wait until they snap the ball and then change the defense and try to get them offline. Um, I think, you know, preparation, going back to preparation is big, which I think leads you to when we start talking about the broadcasting and the booth and stuff like that, brings a different perspective and a different feel to the game. I've always supported athletes becoming broadcasters, right? Because who else can speak about the game better than the person that played the game? But not everybody's meant to be a broadcaster. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
You know, I like Romo. Romo surprised me. You know what I'm saying? Romo in the booth, um, calling the plays before they happen,
Yeah, very
identifying.
good
I
at it.
think it's dope, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, if you have that IQ there, why didn't it translate to the field? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's not. You can have all the intelligence in the world, but if you can't apply it, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got something similar to what you just said. Now, Dan Orlovsky, he's known for running out the back of the end zone for a safety, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch him break down film, he's one of the best on TV right now. And
Hmm.
he wasn't really good when he played. Let's be, he wasn't, he wasn't a starter. I mean, he was a starter, but I believe it was because of injury. And he wasn't one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But if you think about how much football this dude watched and had a front seat for over the years,
Hmm.
I listened to him before I listened to anybody. And from what I understand, he's been approached for about coaching a couple times. But I think he's really good on TV. He's really good with breaking down plays. But again, that's just like you said, just because you are good doesn't mean you're going to be a good commentator. He's not a commentator, he's an analyst. But I think he's one of the best analysts on TV. But he wasn't one of the best players in the league.
And that's yeah, and you're right. And I like that analogy because he is good. You know, he was on the pivot for the draft, man. And he's a good guy. They asked him about coaching. He said he wouldn't do it. Takes so much time away from his family.
Yep.
He don't want it to be away from his boys. I think his boys are starting to play football too. So he
He got
wants to be there.
triplets.
You said what?
He got triplets.
Oh yeah, that dude's winning. That's the best way to do it, man. Knock out three at one time, you good to go. I wouldn't wish that on myself, but I'm just saying if anybody else wants to do it, go out there and get it. Um, I put in the chat some of the stats, and you said regular season. Mahomes, and I think I'll share it on the screen. Let me get it up here on my computer. Uh, and I guess, man, my question is to you is why is it that during the regular season a person could perform, but when they get to the postseason, it doesn't happen? And we can talk teams, we can say whatever. I got it right here right now. Hold on, let me pull it up. Don't worry, we're gonna get big one day, bro. We're gonna have somebody doing all this for us. He's gonna be sitting here talking. What the hell is going on with this? Oh. All right, let me share my screen. There you go. So this is a comparison for people that are gonna watch it or listen to this and not watch it of Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott over the last 50 starts. Mahomes' record win-loss is 36 and 14. Dak is 33 and 17. They both had the same passing touchdowns. Mahomes has one more interception with 39. Dak has 38. Passer ratings, Dak has 101.3. Mahomes is 98.9. Yards per attempt, they're this identical, except Mahomes is 7.5, Prescott 7.6. And completion percentage, you got Mahomes at 66.8 and Prescott 68.4. So this you said regular season. Why do you think that there's a difference in the postseason? Is it the quarterback chokes? Is the team's not really ready? What's your take on
Well,
that?
this last year that they played the Packers, he played like shit. Pick
Hmm.
six, missing receivers. Um, and then the year before, I believe it was the year before, that he did that quarterback sneak, last drive of the game, no timeouts. Um, I pointed out regular season because these 50 starts, right? And this is I don't know if playoffs are included, but he's a good regular season. He's a really good regular season quarterback. He puts up great numbers. He plays the Giants and the Commanders 4 times. So that's 4 games. He's putting up good numbers because those teams have been shit the last couple of years. So it's easy to pad stats against those teams. And then when he's at home, they're a monster at home, except in the playoffs last year against Green Bay. But that's another example of he choked. Yeah, I mean, and I know it's a team game because the defense that was lights out at home all year didn't do anything either. And I know a lot of Cowboys fans probably thought that game was in the bag before it was even played. That because they were killing it at home, the defense, and they got rolled. But I deliberately pointed out regular season because he's a regular season quarterback and he hasn't done anything to change my mind. I don't think there's a lot of people who feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree. Regular season, he's great. I also feel, man, is the mental. Um, so regular season, you have the next week and you can come back. But
Yeah.
when they get into postseason, you don't have the next week and it's one and done. And I think that sometimes the stage gets too big for some people and they overthink it. I have this thing with certain things I don't do because I overthink them. Like I overprocess. I nuke it. What we call in the Navy, we nuke it. We overthink it to the point where we don't. We make it so difficult when it's so simple that we can't get it done. And people forget. And I think with the difference with like the Patrick Mahomes, um, maybe other quarterbacks that have had a lot of success in the postseason is that when they get there, they understand it's a game. It's a game. They don't freak out too much. Look at Joe Burrow. He's been down 21 points to the Chiefs and came back and won. Um, I just feel like you said regular season is one thing. I think when they get in the postseason, it's something different. But I also feel like, do you think that coaching could matter with that too?
Yeah, it all comes into play, but it the coaching can only do so much because the ball's in Dak's hands. It's not Mike McCarthy throwing that pick six.
Yeah,
It's Dak.
I was gonna say, and I think we both agree. There's some quarterbacks that you can take the reins off, and let them do what they do, and there's some quarterbacks that you can't. I think Dak is one of those quarterbacks.
It's gonna be tougher this year.
Oh, it is. It is going to be tougher. I mean, this year I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people, um, not your boy, Trevor Lawrence said, the big contract is not going to make a difference. Not going to impact put pressure on him. Do you agree?
I don't think there's pressure. He got it already. You know what I mean? There's no worry about being cut, traded. It shouldn't. Um, but with that contract comes expectations. Bro, you're one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's no missing the playoffs and shit like that now anymore. You know what I mean? You got to be. It should be it should be a given that we're making the playoffs this year. Whether it be home playoff game, win the division, but the least that we're getting is we're making it to the playoffs. But if you missing the playoffs and you got a quarterback making that much money, nah, man, there's something wrong there.
Yeah,
It should be on him.
I think he's going to have some pressure. And it's not because he got paid already, like you said. I think it's gonna be in the back of your mind. They pay me all this money, and I gotta go. Like you said, I can't have a first round exit. I gotta make the playoffs. I gotta rise to the level that I'm getting paid for. Um, I feel with him, they didn't pay him for what he did. They paid him for what they think he's gonna do moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that now that's gonna eat up some more inside of his mental with that pressure. Because again, we go back to being pressure, the pressure. Like we look at Mahomes, we look at Burrow, but there's some quarterbacks that they don't feel it. They get in there. Oh, if they feel it, we don't know because they're so calm. Hell, we seen Mahomes in 13 seconds send the Bills home in the AFC Championship. You know what I'm saying? To go to 13 seconds, the dude went down the field, got a field goal, and that was it. But we saw Dak in 11 seconds, mess it up and get eliminated. So,
Yeah.
um, I think there's gonna be I don't want to say pressure, but I say is consciousness of the fact that I got paid and I need to, I might have to perform and do more than what normal I would do. Um,
And like we said last week, it doesn't kick in for another what,
for
a
2 years.
year?
Come in,
Yeah,
man.
so
Oh, my wife just walked in. You ever met my wife, Pete?
no.
Oh, come on. Hey, come say hi
Oh
to.
yeah, yeah, we in Florida.
Yeah. So we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, babe. I'm gonna eat this as soon as I'm done. All right, thank you. Love it. Love it. You want to go to Taylor Smoke tomorrow then? Okay. Yeah. So I'm interested, yo. I'm interested to see a lot of stuff. Did you see that NFL Hard Knocks is gonna do an in season filming of the AFC North? They're gonna follow all
Never,
the teams.
never been a fan of Hard Knocks, bro.
I have either. I
Never.
only watched one season. If I did, it was the Aaron Rodgers one. But I've never really watched it. I don't. I'm not a fan of inviting a camera team into your locker room. And maybe because I'm a Patriot fan and Belichick would never let it happen. But I just feel like there's certain things in the locker room that you needs to stay in the locker room. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Certain conversations, certain techniques, certain things. Um, Everybody's trying to grow their brand. So now here you are putting a camera team in there and they're gonna want to what? Grow their fucking brand. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I wouldn't want to do it, but um, we'll see. I might tune in though. Uh, I might just because it's the North, AFC North, but I don't know if I would though. Honestly, I don't know if I would. To be real, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. This thing, the NFL released for the first time ever, 280 teams qualified for the first of its kind NFL flag championships. So, the National Football League announced today that 2,860 flag players will be participate in the NFL Flag Championships presented by Toyota, the world's premier youth flag football tournament from July 18th to 21 at the Hall of Fame Village in Canton, Ohio. The championship will feature 280 NFL flag regional winning teams of girls and boys and 6 international teams. ESPN, Disney, and NFL will bring fans exciting action throughout the event with coverage. I think that's dope. It's youth. I think that's dope for the kids. You know, they do the minor. What is it? The World Series for kids. What is it called? Yeah,
Little League World Series.
yeah. I mean, why not do a flag football? Why not? It's probably gonna be flag football before we know it. Why? NFL gonna have to have flags. They doing that already in the Pro Bowl. That's why the Pro Bowl is a joke to me.
Now the Pro Bowl is shit. Some of the roughing the passer calls are definitely flag football like. So I agree with that.
Do you? So okay, this is something that totally random. I know you can handle it. Baseball, the All Star game has impact. NBA All Star game has impact. Do you feel, or do you think, I should say, that the NFL should maybe move the Pro Bowl to mid-season?
No, it's too. It's football is too. That sport is too risky. So who's gonna want to play something in season that's an exhibition game that they're gonna rupture an Achilles or blow out their knee and their season is done? You know what I mean? They're not doing that. That's why they don't play now because they don't want to have their off season be rehab and I blew out my
Yeah.
knee and then I may not even be ready for next season because I remember what's his name? I think his name was William Floyd, played for the 49ers and they
Mhm.
were playing flag football on the beach in the Pro Bowl and he blew out his knee. He was never the same. So these dudes ain't gonna play in a Pro Bowl game. That's why they got like the skills competition and shit like that.
So you think they should just get rid of the Pro Bowl, period?
100%. Get just look, you made the team. Here's a plaque or whatever the fuck it is you want to do to commemorate that they made the team, and have some and celebrate it at NFL Honors Night before the Super Bowl. That's it.
What about if they brought back the Madden teams? Remember back in the day, Madden had his own team, and you used to get a jacket and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. But these dudes don't want to play that game. They don't want to get hurt.
Because I think making the All Madden team is a lot more than doing a Pro Bowl. Only reason you'll be on the game, your name
Yeah.
is forever gonna be on that game. for that year, you was the all Madden team, and Madden used to give you a jacket and everything. I agree. I think the Pro Bowl should be done because they don't have nothing that comes out of it. There's no what's in it for me. So you want me to go out there, you want me to play, even if it's flag football, I can break a leg, I could do something. The whole offseason I'm rehabbing, like you said, and now I don't even know. And mentally, again, you could be physically healed 100%, but mentally, you might not be.
I'm shocked they even. I'm shocked these dudes even play the flag football, yo. I'm shocked they even do that.
I think they do it because that's all they know to do, bro.
But like you said, they can still get hurt doing that.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's the I'm a make it less physical to make you think it's still safer, but deep down inside it's still bad because a lot of times you rupture your Achilles, you tore something on a cut.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Stopping on a dime. Let me cut, let me stop and cut. Boom. And next thing you know, your shit's done and you out for the season. That's why Edelman didn't get hurt getting hit. He got hurt trying to stop and cut, and his AC, MCL, ACL ruptured or whatever it was, and he was done. Look at it just happens. Um, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, man, was just the state of the NFL, defenses. I'm excited. I'm excited about this offseason coming up, man. We're almost in July. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a few months. I think I saw something about I forgot how many more Sundays before NFL kickoff, man.
50, I think, maybe. Yeah,
Something
something
like
like that.
that. Something like that. I'm looking forward to it. So what game, first week, 1 week, week one, what game are you looking forward to?
Well, there's Baltimore, Kansas City to lead
Mm-hmm.
off to kick off the season, and that Cowboy game,
But the
Jets
Cow
49ers,
you think that
and the Eagles and the Eagles and the Packers.
so look, we're gonna talk about this more the week prior to the first week of NFL kickoff when we give our predictions, but you think the Jets got a chance against the 49ers?
No, I mean, I don't honestly, I don't know. It's in San Francisco, but as much as the Jets have been talking and Aaron Rodgers has been talking, I want to see. I want to see what it's about. Then now I want to see what it's about. You know what I mean? That's basically as far as whether they have a chance or not. I don't know. I want to see how it's going to play out.
I tell you, to be honest, man, I don't think the Jets are going to do much. I don't think so. Not right now. I would have to see the first couple of. Let me get through the first 4 weeks and get into October to see. You know, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he's over his prime. I mean, he's definitely over his prime. I don't know if he's to the point where he's fallen off a cliff yet.
We'll
And
see. I think this is the year we'll see.
yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he does. I want to see what Russell does. Joe Burrow coming back from injury, what he does. I want to see what Herbert's going to do with Harbaugh now and what he has going on up there. Um, I want to see what the Eagles going to do. Defense ain't the same as it was. Offense is going to be relying on Jalen Hurts. Did he reach the ceiling, or did he, is he okay? You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see what that looks like, man. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know how you watch your games on Sunday. We normally get on FaceTime and watch the games together. You know what I'm saying? Talk shit. So I'm gonna definitely let you know if you want to come on board and join us because we be on that mug talking shit, man. We commenting. I wanna get to the point where we could probably stream it like on Sunday night, something like that, where we're watching it together and it's in the background playing. I don't know how I could do that, but I'm gonna figure it out. But anyway, man, if you got anything you want to talk about before we go,
Nah, man, that's it for me.
ain't that much going on, man. I think next week we're gonna cover some stuff. We might have to record earlier though, because I'm driving. But um, hey man, thanks for getting on another week that we got here, knocked out to some important topics. I think that state of NFL is worth talking about. Next week we got another week coming up, a good episode. You got anything you want to say before we close out?
Always good to be on. Always good to get on and talk football, bro. Anytime, man.
Yeah, it is good. It is good to get on here and talk. Well, man, listen, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, hit notification button, leave us a comment what we can do better, how we can do better, any topics you want to hear is the debate. And Thanks for tuning in to Frank Presents the Play Call. Till next week. I mean, Offsides Podcast. Sorry. Offsides Podcast next week.